Hi, McCartney fans, and welcome to episode 125 of Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast. We are a Paul McCartney talk show mainly dealing with the solo career of Paul McCartney. I'm one of your two co hosts, Tom Hunyadi. You may know me from my other show, Talk More Talk. And I'm joined by my partner in crime, my backwards traveler. He is Andy Nichols. Andy, my friend, so good to see you. What's going on?
Yeah, it's like I didn't see you an hour
Right.
ago.
We are fresh off of our latest episode of ranking the tracks. I think this was volume 20, where we did earlier tonight. So yeah, but it'll be a few days from now when you actually hear this. So,
Yeah, that'll
but
have been up
anyways,
already. And here we are. We kind of came up with a different kind of concept for this
right.
week's show.
Yeah, we had a couple of things planned, but we had to, adjust and reschedule. And you came up with a pretty cool, fun idea. So I was like, hey, let's give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, there's been a flurry since 2018. There has been so much McCartney activity. It's been
Yeah.
between new albums and the archive box set. It's been astronomical amount of, it's been a fun time to be a Paul fan. And we could all
Absolutely.
we can it really has been. I mean,
Yeah.
after getting like one album, and then waiting years and years and years, now we're getting. I mean,
Right.
obviously the pandemic is why we got McCartney 3, but putting that into perspective and looking at it back on it now, I said to Tom, I said, what if we did a show where we looked at his last two albums, which I mean, most people still are buzzing, I think, from Egypt Station, which is not
Right.
that old. I mean, it's coming up on 3 years old now,
Right.
and now McCartney 3. And what if we took the best of both albums to make one album out of both of them? No
Hmm.
bonus tracks, just the straight up albums as
Right.
they are, right?
Just straight up as they are, no bonus tracks. It's
Nope.
just albums proper. So Eagle Station would end at Hunt You Down Naked and Sea Link.
Right. So if we took the, we said, let's call it 12 tracks, 12, 13 tracks total,
Right. Hmm.
and put together like an album based off of these two records. And,
Right.
do you like, I mean, where do you stand with them all? I mean, McCartney, the honeymoon phase, I think, of McCartney 3 is starting to wane.
Right. Yep.
And where do you people sit with it? I mean, some people I think are still pretty crazy about it. And
Yep.
I mean, me personally, this is kind of how Tom and I talked about this. I texted him last Saturday. I said, you know what? I think Egypt Station is still is now back ahead of it for me.
Right.
And then we kind of got talking. I said, well, what if we just did a show where we took, if you mashed them together
Hmm.
and come up with an album. So that's what we're going to do here today with. I mean, I still love McCartney 3. I played it. I played the
Right.
cassette. I love it, but Egypt Station just gets just a little bit of a notch ahead still.
That's funny. I'm glad you said that because when McCartney 3 came out, I was still warming up to it, so I was still, loving Egypt Station a little bit more. But now it's kind of reversed where I'm just liking McCartney 3 just a little bit more than Egypt Station, and I love Egypt Station.
Right. I mean, yeah. So it's we've kind of done this. We flip flopped a little bit with
Right.
it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, no, it's they're great records. My feeling was that Egypt Station was a record that was produced over the course of a period of time, and it was a
Right.
calculated move, and it was real. A lot of thought went into it. Not that a lot of thought didn't go into this, but this is clearly the result of the pandemic and Paul having fun and using a couple of tunes that were laying around. Obviously, with when winter comes
Right.
at the end. But I mean, as in Paul fashion, he still churns out some freaking gems on this, as
Right.
we know, some classic McCartney gems. So this will be a fun one, choosing which one. It's almost like this episode is like a cousin of ranking the
Right.
tracks in a way.
It kind of, yeah. We're just taking two albums and we're taking our favorite tracks, and kind of, I kind of went in the direction to where, okay, I think there's a couple tracks on McCartney 3 that I think would fit well on Egypt Station, or vice versa. There might be a couple tracks on Egypt Station that would fit well on McCartney 3. So tried to make one cohesive unit here, or an
Album
album, in a style that maybe makes sense to us.
that makes sense to us and would represent like latter day McCartney. If
Right.
this hadn't happened, if you're making a playlist on your phone, and what are you going to do? What are you going to take
Right.
from Egypt Station? What are you going to
Right.
take from McCartney 3? And
Right.
that's what Tom and I did. And I think we'll see how much we agree and disagree on. And you tell us what you have.
Yeah, exactly. So leave, yeah, please leave in the comments, what songs from each album that you would put on your album. But again, no bonus tracks. Just stick with the albums.
Stick with the main album. But before
Right.
we dive into the albums, you want to touch on the news today and the
Oh
gift,
yes,
the great gift we got.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, so we had been in touch with Cherry Red Records. We originally reached out to Cherry Red Records to see if we can, get the interview with Denny Sywell and Fernando Perdomo, and but luckily we contacted Denny before that, so we really didn't need Cherry Red's Records help. However, they got in touch with us and they were emailing us back and forth about what our interview and them sharing it, and they said, "Hey, we got music available." So Andy, you emailed back, and then today, what's today? Today's the Tuesday the 6th,
Yeah.
and we got to listen to the Ram On file, right?
Yeah, the Sharon, the PR person at Cherry Red,
Right,
who's just a really subsidiary of the overall record company, which
right,
I'm forgetting at the name at the moment. But she was great. She sent us an email, basically of a press release
right,
of this album, a Word document, the publicity photo that we shared on our page of Denny and Fernando,
right,
and a great bunch of information about that. And then, like Tom said, she said, "Oh, music's available." So and Tom and I both pre-ordered it, as we talked about when we did our,
right.
we pre-ordered from Cherry Red. So we were sent an advance copy, and man, it is. I mean, I listened to it 5 times today. It is. I did, and I'm not one for tribute records.
Right.
I don't like them. I'd rather hear the original artist. I really don't like it, but this one was put together. This one is on the money. I mean, half of these artists I've never even heard of, but "Smile Away," featuring a new musician by the name of Timmy Sean, is
Right.
that guy. I mean, we talked to him. We messaged him on Twitter today and
Right.
told him what a great job he did, and he
Because he
does
does that and Monkberry Moon Delight, so he
and
sings two
he
tracks.
sings 2 tracks, two of the harder tracks on the album, and he kills it.
Right.
And he kills it. I mean, the album is so well done. I mean, I can't
Yes.
wait. I can't wait to listen to this tomorrow. And
Oh,
again,
listen, when I got the email this morning saying you got the tracks, I was just like, I pretty much shot myself, you know. So obviously I went to work for a couple hours. I got home and I played it because I didn't want to play it on my phone. I didn't want to hear it from the phone speakers or
how did you play it initially? Just on the computer?
just on my laptop, yeah, and then
Right.
put the headphones on, and man, was I blown away. It's every bit as good as Denny Fernando promised us.
And then
It
some.
was going to,
And
and
then
then
some.
some. Yeah, I mean, I really can't talk highly enough for this album.
And again,
I was really
I
impressed.
don't like tribute stuff. There was a and I have to dig through my little archives, but there was like a tribute. There were 2 McCartney tribute CDs about 20 years ago.
Yeah,
In,
yeah,
have you seen those?
yeah. Didn't pay
It,
him any mind though.
indie, like they're indie artists tributes to McCartney. I
Right.
bought them, but I listened to them once and shelved them. They're interesting, but they didn't grab you like this album. Well,
This.
this is
Right.
balls to the walls
Yeah.
production. It's a faithful rendering of and a reimagining of what Ram is. I mean,
It's got all those wonderful layers of vocals and musicianship. I mean, the instrumentation, it's all everything's there for you to enjoy. I mean, especially on headphones. I was just really blown
oh,
away from them listening to them on headphones.
it's I
And
mean,
and
yeah. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying. I mean, the singers. I mean, Denny. When we were talking to Fernando and Denny. Fernando said Denny picked every single vocal. He had the final say, and I think he did a stellar job. Picking these vocals. I mean, all of them are top notch.
There's even some really cool parts on this record, and you'll listen to with repeated listenings, Tom. That actually, where there was a guitar solo, it's actually
Right.
the vocals are actually taking. They're actually on this version. The singers will actually reproduce the guitar sound with the
Mm-hmm.
vocal. I mean,
Right.
that's really like just very super creative and artistically brilliant to do that. I mean, you got Carney Wilson doing backing vocals on Long Haired Lady. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Great. Great.
and I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of many of these musicians, really.
No, yeah,
So, and as we heard when we interviewed Denny, I mean, we had people on there as young as
right.
10 years
10?
old,
Yeah,
10, and as old, so, and as original, and the original, some of the original players on the album, Spinoza, obviously, and Denny, and the one of the
yeah.
horn players.
Yeah, Stam, I think it was.
Yeah, Marvin Stam, right.
Yeah.
So it is, I mean, I think it was May 14th it drops.
Yep.
I mean, I guess from somebody who doesn't like tribute records, I was totally blown away by this, and I'm going to get so much enjoyment out of listening to this record, and I know
Absolutely.
Tom will too. I know.
Absolutely.
So
Yes, like you said, Andy. I mean, we've been in contact with Timmy Sean, who did vocals for 2 tracks, and we're going to have him on in a later episode to talk about his experience working on this album. So looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, if you're at all interested, if you love Ram, I think you'll really appreciate what they did here. I mean, it's faithful, like you said, Andy. They take a little bit of liberties. They kind of make it their own a little bit,
a
but
little
it's
bit.
not to where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. You know what
No,
I mean?
no way.
No, yeah, really mind blowing stuff. And
And very challenging vocal. I mean,
mhm.
the average singer isn't coming off the street into the studio and belting Monkberry Moon Delight. It's not happening.
It's
You
true.
can't. These are very complicated,
Right,
very high range vocal
right,
singing songs, and to find kudos to Denny and Fernando to talenting the talent scout to say, you know what, and Denny's like, you know what, I know this music like the back of my hand, and I'm
exactly.
not going to just bring in just a star just because they want to. They got to be able to sing this, and
Yep,
they did their homework and they got the right people to sing this music. Boy,
yep.
I mean, I listened to it 5 times today, 4 times at work, and 1 time when I got home.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I'll definitely be listening it to it more in the future. Can't wait to get the CD in the mail.
Yep.
And
But
but yeah, so
thank you,
thank you,
Sharon.
Sharon. Yep,
Thank you,
yep,
Sharon,
absolutely.
for that as well.
Yeah, so May 14th, Cherry Red Records. Please buy and support this record, and you won't regret it.
It's also on Amazon too. I saw it is on
Did
Amazon
you?
as
Is
well.
it
Yeah.
okay? It is on Amazon now.
So you could
Okay,
buy it domestically from
great.
Amazon. I think it's about $20
Okay,
domestically on Amazon, as opposed to, I mean, it's 10 or 11
think
pounds.
pounds right. Yeah,
So when you with the shipping and the difference, it's probably a
right,
wash. So, if you
right.
want to, if you can support the label directly and buy and support them. Otherwise, if you
Right.
can't, just buy it from Amazon
Yeah, or just give Bezo another billion.
or that too. So yeah, but Ram on the 50th, May
Right.
14th, coming your way. Get it.
Excellent. Yeah. Wow. Good stuff. So yeah, so let's get to this topic tonight. I was having a lot of fun with this last night, going, okay, do I want this? How would I kind of see? Because I did kind of sequence it a little bit. I didn't give it too much thought, but I just thought, okay, well, this one I think would sound, good after this, because I don't maybe like where it was sequenced, on the
All right,
album.
I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna while you're going, I'm gonna cheat and sequence it now. So just keep going. I'm gonna because I have my iTunes playlist up.
Right.
I'm gonna work on a little bit of a sequence. So go ahead, brother. Take it away.
Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you. I'll give you my first 2 tracks here. Obviously, I think Longtail Winter Bird works great. I love it
Ooh.
as an opening track more than I like. I like it better than I like what he did with the Idris Station, where you got the openings. When you got the
Oh,
open.
okay.
You know what I mean. So that I really didn't opening station. I really didn't care for that much, to be honest with you. I thought it was
Wow.
okay.
Okay.
But it was a good sound effect. Obviously it fits the title of the album, but I think Longtail Winter Bird is an excellent open track, and I really think that "Come On to Me" would be a great follow up to that song. I think it just continues the power of Longtail Winter Bird, and just continues the up temponess of Longtail Winter Bird. So, I mean, that's how I see it.
Okay. Okay. So for the opening of the album. Okay. So for the opening
Yeah.
of the album, I went with opening station. Because
Okay. Yeah.
I really love opening station, and then of course I went with I Don't Know, which is
Right.
probably one of my favorite McCartney songs in the last 10 years, last well 20 years, really, since Driving Rain. I love kind of that opening station of the hearing the car doors slam and hearing the train. I love all that. It's a perfect mood setter.
Yeah.
I don't love Long Wintered Bird. A long
Oh,
time. I don't like that. I'm not that didn't even make my list.
wow.
Did
Interesting.
that didn't even make my I didn't even pick that song. So I went with the opening station into I Don't Know as to open up this album.
Right. So you don't mind, I don't know, because obviously you weren't you. I mean, um, uh, I don't know if we talked about this before, but do you like I don't know opening the album, or would you
Oh,
have preferred
absolutely.
maybe Come On to Me or something like
No,
that?
I love Odo. I love how I Don't Know opens the album
Really
because
interesting.
opening station to me, opening station flows right into I Don't Know.
Okay.
It's a perfect opener. You hear, it's kind of very kind of
Somber,
somber music.
yeah.
It's like, okay, this is different. And then you get the Come On to Me. I
Right.
if it had opened with Come On to Me, I don't think I would have liked this album as nearly as much.
Oh wow, interesting.
No way. So
Okay.
I think that's one of the better openings of his albums because it's a theme. There's a theme
Right.
here. There's a little bit of a loose theme. So
Mhm.
I enjoy that as an opening to an album. Very atypical, not a traditional like George Martin, Beatles, Paul come out of the gate with a real, like a typical track. It's a little more somber.
Right.
Kind of like a little bit like the song we were singing a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So more like Fine Line. It's not like Fine Line or Dance Tonight with songs that open up an album, or Save Us from New. That just
Right.
it's those are songs that kind of get it right out of the gate. This one doesn't do that.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I was kind of surprised because I like it when he starts like, bold like that with
I
like
do
a
too,
with
but
like
a
a new.
change, but this is different, and
Right.
um, so yeah, all right, so that's cool.
Right. Okay. So then I go into track three would be Find My Way. Find My Way I think is a track that I think would fit on Egypt Station. I think it has a little bit of that production, the feel production wise,
Mm-hmm.
like Egypt Station does. So I think it would fit perfectly. And so I'm kind of like, in a way, I'm almost kind of like making my own perfect Egypt Station right
You
now.
are, and I'll tell you what, we're in sync there, partner, because I
Right.
have Find My Way 3 as
Right.
well.
Cool. Nice.
I
Nice.
um it's almost like that it's taking the place of Come On to Me a little bit. Is that
Right.
pop of your number?
Yes. Hear ya. Hear ya. Then we with track four, then we slow it down a little bit, and then I got Happy With You, which is a track that I'm love, right off the bat. I think it's great. Wow, you probably got it there too, right?
Yep. I didn't honestly. We didn't talk. I don't because we haven't really talked since I've been on the show. We
Right.
haven't we haven't really talked a lot about Egypt Station.
No, because you weren't, yeah, it was still David at the time when
I
Egypt
so
Station
we
came out.
really haven't really talked in depth about Egypt Station.
Right.
Obviously, Flaming Pie, the archive stuff we have, but this we really haven't.
Well,
So
maybe we should. Maybe when on the third anniversary of the album, maybe we should do
sure.
a show.
I mean, we're gonna rank
Visit.
it, but
Yeah,
but
that's
we're
true.
gonna rank it. But I would like to do a proper show on it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah, I have it fourth. I have it fourth as well too. Happy with you.
Right.
I love that. I love that. That whole throw a pocket full of coins into the Trevi
Yeah, Tree
Fountain.
Fountain. Yep.
I love.
Done
I
it.
love.
Been
Yeah,
there, done that.
you been there, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. What
Hmm.
you acted? You threw, but you threw the coins
Oh,
in.
we threw coins in. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But that was one of those first tracks. I think probably when you heard it, I,
Oh, instant class. You
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 knew it.
you know you knew that was a instant McCartney classic when you first listen.
Yeah,
Happy
you
with you.
you happy you knew it, right? So
Yep.
we're on the same page there. So that's cool. So all right. So what did you have fifth?
But then we picked it up a little bit, and then we went to Lavatory Lil,
Okay.
which is another track that I love. I love a lot of these up tempo songs between the two albums. He's again. I think Lavatory Lil could have fit nicely on Egypt Station, and uh, lyrically I think it's good, and it just rocks and rocks. And it doesn't necessarily have that, in my opinion, that solo feel where it's just Paul. It kind of does feel like a band feel to it, in my opinion. You,
Lavatory Low. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I went for 5. I went with Who Cares.
Oh yeah, good.
I went
Another
with
great one. Yeah.
Yeah. Because this now here's what we always talk about, especially when we talk about our ranking show, how we don't really pay attention to lyrically, but we like how it sounds musically.
Hmm.
This is one where I actually really genuinely like the lyrical content
Yeah.
better than the music
Right.
because the message is so important because
Right.
it stands up against bullying and basically tells people, you know what, screw all these bullies. You know what, there's somebody out there looking out for you.
Right.
So I think that message is so important. Again, musically, it's not anything in but it's like, who cares what the idiots say? I
Right.
care.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's to me that's an important message in 2021. And I like that's why I included it.
Yep. Good.
Musically, it's nothing great, but it's just a great message. Who cares about
Right.
you? I do,
Exactly.
which is
Yep.
why I like it. So yeah, that was if I was 5. What do you got 6?
Number six is, I know a track that not a lot of people liked off of Egypt Station, but I absolutely adore it, and that's "For You." It's been one of my, and I can't wait to see where I'm going to rank this when we get to Egypt
Oh
Station.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think it'll be number one at all or anything like that, but I can't wait to
Better
see,
not be.
you know, yeah, how high it is. But again, here's a song that um, didn't I liked, but I liked it even more once I saw the video because you know when I went first met my wife on the way home, I walked home that night and I was singing, just like the guy does in the video,
In the video,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so it just clicked with me because of that video, and then then that's when I fell in love with it.
Because
And
you connected with it on that level.
exactly on that level, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Cool.
musically, I think it's fun. I think it's just a fun McCartney track in the same way that "Silly Love Songs" is a fun McCartney track.
Agreed.
Mm.
Agreed. Um, 6th, I went with Pretty Boys.
Oh
And
yeah,
again, figuring out tempo placing where you're placing these tracks, I have a fast song, a heavy song,
right.
ballad. Pretty Boys, the whistling. I mean, I hope you have this on your list too.
Mm,
Maybe you will. I don't know,
mm.
but I think it's a great song. Again, this is more. This one is more musically. This one's just great.
Right.
The the whistling through it. And I guess there's a little keyboards in it. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
that. Although I don't really understand the lyrics in it. I don't. But
I like his vocal approach to it. you
yeah,
know but the whole bicycles,
for hire,
and
working for a
for hire.
squire, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's
Um,
fine. I mean, every once in a while he gets in that rhyming rut that we sometimes talk about, but sometimes it works, and I think in this instance it kind of works.
yeah. So I thought Pretty Boys was definitely worthy of being on a mix of
Mashup.
this short. Yep.
Oh, cool. Cool. Seven for me. Then I go with the Kiss of Venus. Again, I think his falsetto was really strong on this track, and his guitar playing was really good, and I liked lyrically, I like it, and I think it would work on on an album kind of like what we're doing here. But yeah, I think it's a good track. I mean, you need every once in a while you need those, like, those 2.5, 3 minute songs, in between somewhere
To
placed in the
to
in those album.
to
You
break it
know,
up. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of the reasons why I liked McCartney 3 a lot, was because you had a lot of those quick, 2.5 to 3.5 minute songs. Not all of them were these, 6 to 10 minute epics.
No, no, which would broke it up.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. All right. 7, I went with Confidant.
Mm,
Which again, I know was a big highlight of that record for a lot of people.
right.
Talking about his guitar. When I was thinking about like placing these, even just a few minutes ago, I always try to think about how would I close side 1, how would I open up side 2,
Right.
you know. And I like to think that this might be one that closes side 1 because it's the 7th song,
Right.
because it sets up like how I would open up side two of this record. So
Okay.
Confidant, it's a nice closer.
Mm.
The whole long lost anthems. Again, I guess I think he's talking about his guitar, right?
Right.
In this
Yeah.
song,
Yep.
is he?
Hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So again, this was just a classic from Egypt Station.
Yeah.
Great guitar work in it throughout the whole thing.
Right.
Again, one of those you knew right away this was going to be a
Exactly.
highlight of the record.
Yeah.
But Confidence, my seventh.
Great. Eight for me. I would like to think that you talked about, opening a side, opening or, flipping it over in the opening track. I mean, I love how Who Cares opens, with the feedback, and it's very,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, kind of Jimmy-ish or Terry Kathish, in a way, how to open it. And yeah, and great, and like you said, the lyrics are powerful. They're moving. They're what we need, now in that, like you said, the age of the internet bullying and good stuff. I think I can look at it in the same way as like a somebody who cares or
Because of
too
those
much
kind of
rain. Yeah, there's always somebody out there that that
there's
cares about they'll help you out or care about
right.
you,
And see,
whatnot.
that's one thing that Paul has always been,
Mm,
that known for and kind of, I guess, criticized for is that he's too mushy and stuff. But
right.
the guy wears his heart on his sleeve. So what?
Mm.
He wants he's spreading good messages in his music. And again, what's wrong with that? I'd like to know.
Exactly.
All right, so if we were to flip
Love
this
it.
out, yeah, if we were to flip this album over now, my eighth song would be the grand opening of Sliding. I think that would be an
Oh,
awesome
right.
side two. Boom, 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 boom.
Right.
Sliding is one of those songs. When I heard McCartney III, I said, "Man, this now it's not really a solo song, as we found out.
That's right.
They're on it. The band is on this, but I
Right.
mean, doon, 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 boom, right into it. How I try.
Right.
Yeah, Sliding is the definite highlight of McCartney III. Latter day McCartney, say, for the last 20 years of his career, I think Sliding
Mm.
definitely ranks up there as a great track. Don't know, but yeah, greatest. Oh, Sliding, such an awesome. I'm sliding.
Yep.
Oh, so
I can
I
see my body through windows of my hair. It's
yeah.
very, very acid, acid rock,
Yeah, but I don't think I can fly. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good. So yeah, I think that would be a perfect side two, flip it over, opening track of the second side. So number eight is Sliding.
Well, that's how the cassette opens is sliding.
Oh,
So,
see, I might have forgotten. That's why I knew. Okay.
well, my nine track after Who Cares is sliding. It's just an absolute track that I love. I love that they had to hush up that Rusty interview.
Oh,
where
don't
this,
say nothing. Don't say
I know.
nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Quiet, Rusty. Yeah, Rusty, Rusty, Rusty,
Right, kind of
Rusty.
spilled the beans on that one a little bit, but you can tell that's a band. There's times where you can tell that Paul's just doing the song himself. I think
That ain't one of them.
no, that is not one of them, and I think it's a great uh, performance from the band. Abe and Rusty, Paul, on there, and I've always thought that this was one of his better rockers in the last 20 years, and yeah, I think it's definitely
I think it's
deserves.
it's like it's what he was trying. I think it's the sound he was going for on that.
Right.
What was that Nirvana song that he did?
Oh yeah,
Cut
coming
me
some
some
slack.
slack. I
Yeah,
think this is what he was going for, but this is
yeah.
better than that.
No, no, and it definitely has like a Foo Fighters kind of feel to it, in
That's
my
what I'm
opinion.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
it does a little bit,
yeah,
So
yep,
Sliding was your ninth track.
yep,
Okay.
yep.
Track nine for me is now we're gonna dial it. We went Sliding, big, powerful, heavy song.
Right.
Now we're gonna dial it back with Dominoes.
Mm,
Which I'm sure is on your list. I just don't know where
yes.
it's. I don't know where it's going to be yet. Dominoes. Dominoes might be the best song on Egypt Station, hands down. I think it. I think it is. I think it has to be. Doo, 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 nice guitar opens up. In time we'll see.
See, yep,
Opens up. Nice, great vocal from a. It's all a show.
yep.
It, it's been a blast. So verse, and then boom, right to that great chorus. And like the dominoes are
Nose are
falling.
falling. Yep.
Ah, and again, he's singing it, and you can imagine it. Like you can imagine the dominoes falling when he's singing it,
Right.
because his phrasing of the vocals lends itself to that imagery. And like the dominoes are falling,
Yep.
he did that. He's the reason he did that. He could have just said, and like the dominoes are falling. He didn't do. He said it that way to convey literally
Mhm.
falling, and that's because that's why he's a pro and he's the man, so he can do
Right.
that. Then the drums kick in. We can start to
Right. To
begin.
begin. Yep. Living in. Yep.
So I mean, and I know our friend Dylan Seavey loves dominoes.
Yep.
I know when we had him on, he talked about that too. So,
Yep.
if you're doing a best of or compilation of 3 and Egypt Station, if dominoes is not on your list,
Yes.
you need your head examined.
Yeah. Yep. Um,
Just
11.
kidding,
So
just kidding.
yeah. So where are we at? 10 for
This would
me.
be your 10th. Yep.
Yeah, my 10. Then that's where I'm gonna have Confidant. Again, it's another great acoustic track from Paul. It's you said it already. I mean, it's just lyrically, it's really good. And yeah, and he writes it in a way where it could be about a person as well, not necessarily
An
his
object.
guitar.
Right.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So but yeah, I mean, great lyrics to it, great chorus, and the verses are nice too. But I think this was definitely one of the standout tracks for me when I first listened to Egypt Station. I got when Egypt Station came out, I got to listen to it. Because it was when if you ordered on Amazon, you got the file right away, the digital version
Right.
right away.
Right.
So at midnight Eastern time, I got it at 9 p.m.
Oh, because of the
So
time difference.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
because of the time difference. So it was 9 o'clock in my time, Arizona time, and I was
Oh, you were amped up and ready to go
I
then.
was amped up ready to go.
Because people over here on the East Coast are already
Right,
asleep and
they're
done.
already sleeping. Right.
You're like, oh, the album just dropped, and it's like
Yeah.
it's Friday night or whenever it was on
Right.
9 o'clock, and it drops, and you're like, let's go.
Yep, done. Let's go. Exactly.
Did you listen to the whole thing straight through?
Oh, straight through, yeah. But I kind of skipped. I don't know. Come on to me because they're track.
You'd known them already.
I already known them already. Yeah,
Those
exactly.
those 2 songs came out in June.
Yeah, months before. Yeah,
And the album dropped in September, so you had already known those. So
exactly. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
what's a big great regret, and I don't think I've told you this before. I actually won tickets to the Grand Central Station show. I entered in some random thing. Remember, there was a contest. You could email McCartney.com, and it was on a Friday, and I was at work. I was at school, and I at 3 o'clock, I got this really cryptic email saying, "Go here, this thing," and I remember I sent it to like all my friends and family. I'm like, I think I won. I'm like, but I don't know if it's real or not. Long story short, I couldn't go anyway because I had a football game that I had to work. And I ended up calling, and it was legit. I could have went. I was selected to go to the Grand Central Terminal show, and I didn't go.
Confessions with Andy Nichols.
That's a big regret. Now listen, I've seen McCartney 10 times. I've seen him up close, so it's not like I hadn't seen him before. And
right,
it came in the day of the show at 3 o'clock. Report to this thing, and I'm like, is this real? Is this fake? Is this bogus? But it was real, and I didn't go. So that's my, when I think about Egypt Station, that's what I think. Because when I see that concert, I'm like, but
yeah, because then they air that on YouTube. I think they stream it live.
Yes, I know.
Oh,
well, that's a regret, but that's my Egypt Station memory. But yeah.
Wow. True. So, yeah, crazy story. Hell yeah. Yeah, I would definitely regret that as well.
I don't think I told you that either.
No. That's holy shit.
Yeah. That was bad. That was a bad one there, Andy, but listen, life happens.
Yeah, exactly.
So you did your 9th song or 10th? What did you
10.
do?
So I'm at 11 right now.
So I got to do my 10th. Right?
Yeah.
So my 10th is going to be, again, we went, Dominoes was quiet. 9th. 10th is going to be a little more spunky. I went with Seize the Day.
Oh, okay.
which is a favorite of off of this album for me.
Wow.
I love "Seize the Day." And I'm not sure if you do, but
Mm,
I love "Seize the Day." It builds up, and then it
right.
goes boom when the cold way
Right.
comes. Love that, and I really really love the end of "Seize the Day" because it builds up into this nice big crescendo. Seize the day, seize the
Right.
day, and then a nice little guitar riff takes us right out. And again, message, seize the day, carpe
Right.
diem. These are awesome themes, right?
It feels like it feels like it's the do it now, from
That
Egypt Station. You know
that's
what
a
I
great
mean?
that's a great
Mm,
analogy.
mm. So
That's a great analogy.
yeah.
Okay, so you're 11th.
My 11, then we go with Dominoes. For all the reasons you said, I think it is the best song on Egypt Station, and I had said that right off the bat. That was the very first episode of Talk More Talk. Excuse me, where we reviewed Egypt Station, and I'm pretty sure I believe I said that Dominoes was my favorite song on the uh, on the album that night, and it still is.
And it still is, right?
It's still hold to this day. Lyrically, I think it's definitely, I think, is one of his better lyrical songs of the last 20 years. All the things you said about it, the lyrics, like the dominoes are falling. I mean, the chorus I think is great, and then begging us to come out and play.
Oh,
All that stuff is
and all the
good.
telephones
Won't
keep
you just keep
calling.
calling? Yep,
Oh,
constantly imploring
calling.
us to come out and play. I
Right.
mean, good stuff.
Very
Really good
really
stuff.
really
You
good
know,
songwriting.
right? Exactly, and it's just not that basic. Your basic love song from Paul. That's what am I to do if I don't have you? It's just
Right.
we're just rhyming everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
No, this is a great stellar track that deserves a lot of attention and a lot of respect, and should be considered high up in the McCartney song
We'd
catalog.
love to
And
see somebody do a cover of this song one day.
oh, absolutely, and I would hope that this would be included in the McCartney lyrics book that's coming out soon.
That would be nice. That would be
Yeah.
nice for sure. So that was your what, a 12, 11?
11, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
So that's
now
I kind of yeah, that's kind of like my almost my epic, kind of
that's your big epic for
big,
the
right,
that's your epic
exactly,
piece for the album.
right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so my 11, touching on a theme Tom just talked about, because these two songs kind of go hand in hand, although it's not that song either. Is "Do It Now."
Nice.
You like that wordplay,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. Seize the Day. I picked those because they both are both the same kind of thing.
right,
Seize the Day, Do It Now, and I always
right,
love Do It Now.
right.
Um, Prolonged thing, and I've had some people don't really care for it. I like it. It's a drawn out thing that builds up. Do it now, and you hear the vocals, you hear the chorus jumping on that. Do it now, do it now. So I've always loved I've loved Do It Now from the minute that Egypt Station came out was a highlight for me. Um, it was of that, Happy with You, Do It Now.
Right.
That's a go-to track. Watch me
So yeah,
go.
kind of like again with the James McCartney thing, like the put it there, kind of thing. His father would say, hey, do it now.
Right. Oh, right, right.
Mm,
And it builds. It slowly
right,
builds up. That last 30 seconds, you hear it. It's really, really drawn. It starts out quiet, and then towards the end, if you leave it too
right.
late, and it just
Yes.
builds up into this nice big thing. That's
Hmm.
what I love about that song. And
Cool.
it's again, do it now.
Yeah.
Well, your
No,
vision is clear. It's a great, again, universal messages. We like
right.
those.
I like
So
that. It's a nice one-two punch, kind of like in the same way of like maybe Tug of War and Pipes of Peace, maybe a little bit.
yeah,
You know.
yep, yeah, very similar themes. So that's my
Right.
11.
Wow. All right. Well, I end up, cheating a little bit too. Where you gotta, you close out the album. I love the way McCartney 3 closes with Winter Bird and When Winter Comes. I think When Winter Comes is, again, just this great lost gem that was, we talk about this, with ranking the tracks, with the non-album tracks, with something like Kicked Around No More, I Love This House, or just
Hmm.
tracks that just get forgotten about, and in the canon, I think this is when winter comes, I think it's just was a gem that I
So this
think
isn't
people are
this
going to
isn't your
appreciate.
this isn't your last, is it?
Yeah, this is how my album ends. Yeah.
So this is 11 or 12.
Well, it is 12 because yeah, we're on 12 right now, I thought.
All right, so I cheated.
Yeah,
I have 13 with
yeah,
opening
that's
station
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
because
Yeah.
I have three more songs.
Yeah, you have well, I can always add another song. I mean, it doesn't matter to me, but I think 12 tracks, not including like an opening station or anything like that.
All
I
right,
think that just works for me. I think once you get into that, 15, 16, 17, sometimes it works, like London Town, had a lot of tracks on it.
14
It,
tracks, but
or
Egypt
right,
Station
right. Egypt Station again, that had, not including the station one or station two and opening, that's you're looking at 14, 15,
15.
yeah,
So
15
if
songs.
you're not well, no, if you're not wait, no, you're counting 16 because Hunt You Down, Naked Ceiling ends the album proper, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But that's 16. That's a pretty
right.
heavy album
It
by
is.
itself.
Right. Right.
Right. Okay. So it's longer than McCartney 3,
Yeah,
obviously.
absolutely. Absolutely.
You
You
know,
know, but myself, now we're that back in the age of vinyl again, you always got to think of, okay, now we got to have, make sure that we have enough time on the vinyl. We got to make sure it matches the
the
CDs, so you don't get like a third vinyl or a second vinyl for a third side. You know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying? And then next thing you know, you got 2, 3 tracks per side.
Which happens if
Yeah, exactly.
are artists back making albums based on what vinyl records can hold or what
Right.
CDs can hold? And I think it might be shifting back to vinyl. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it is a norm now, especially with the archive sets with Paul. I mean, you're looking at these archive sets, the bonus disc, matches what the vinyl is. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because you could fit so much more stuff on that CD, as we all know.
Correct.
So but no, it's got to have the exact same stuff on the vinyl that it does on the CD.
Yeah. All right. So if I have well, you can throw one. I saw my
Yeah.
12th would be no 11th or 12th. Let me see something here.
Yeah, I just did
11th,
12. Yeah.
12th, 13, yeah. So my 12th would be The Kiss of Venus, which
Okay.
is great track. Falsetto didn't do it for me. When I first heard this song, it was really cringy to me. But then to me, like when that harpsichord kicks in, I'm transported back to Revolver, Revolver days
Right.
right away when you hear that harpsichord kick in. And again, it's McCartney melodic at his best, Kiss of
Right.
Venus. And Tom spoke, eloquently about why it should be included, and I agree with him 1,000%. Great track from McCartney as well. So that's my 12th. I'll just round it out to
Yeah, go ahead.
just to be done with it. I'm gonna go after that. I'm gonna go Deep Deep Feeling as the epic
Yeah.
big piece.
Right.
Again, a song that I really wasn't really big onto. I'm still not totally there with it, but I'm growing to like it. Your cousin, former co-host David, he kind of turned me onto this one, to, like saying like it kind of grows on you, and it just
Right. Yep.
and it has,
That's been the main consensus on this track, that it's been a grower. That's a grower.
and it is, and it's you just got to keep it on, and
Right.
again, it kind of gets you into a trance a little bit,
Right.
something's gotta, it grows on you, and I like that being if I'm sequencing the album, that's my big one, and then I'm gonna close it out with When Winter Comes,
Yeah.
just like you would.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's
So go ahead.
good. No, that's it.
Yeah.
That's how I would close out this mashup.
Hmm. Yeah. And if I were to add a 13th track, I probably would have Hand in Hand.
You okay? You would put
Yeah.
hand, so you would
Yeah.
go another track from Egypt Station.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
So we tried
Because to be honest with you, it's like the tracks that I love on Egypt Station, I love more than tracks that I love on McCartney 3. You know what I mean? However, with McCartney 3, I like to love every track on it, as to where Egypt
you
Station,
don't like you're not
I
a
there's
like
not, I like people want
One
peace.
Piece.
I don't want that song. I can't stand that song. You know what I mean?
Caesar Rock.
Yeah. Caesar Rock I do enjoy, because it's just a fun rocker in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I know. Despite your repeated warnings, you're not
Right.
keen on that one either. And honestly, I know it gets a lot of praise, but Hunt You Down, Naked Sea Link, I like
I
most.
think Yeah,
Most
yeah, I like all of it. And I like the guitar playing on C Link. I've always said that McCartney is a very underrated guitar player.
very much so.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, when an album has 16 tracks as opposed to the 10 or
Right,
11, it's the odds are is that there's going to be a couple here going, hey, some of these are are not as good. And I'm not saying
right,
that everything's on here, but you take two albums and put them together and come up with what you
right,
want to come up with. I mean, I like doing it because now I can say, okay, give me a playlist of what I like off of both of these,
right,
and you just go with it. If
yeah.
you're not in the mood to listen to the whole album of this or this, you just take the best of it. And I think for the most part, you and I had just about all the same songs from Egypt Station,
Close, close.
right?
Yeah.
No,
No,
or
no, no, because I didn't have like Do It Now. You had
or
that,
and you didn't
and
have I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah,
well, we had the key ones. We had the
yeah,
key ones.
exactly,
And you didn't
exactly.
have what did you? You didn't have.
I didn't have Pretty Boys like you did.
Did you have Seize the Day?
No, I didn't have that either. So
Okay,
yeah,
different.
yeah, which
Diff,
is
diff,
good.
different is always good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, this was just a kind of a spur of the moment idea that I had, and Tom said, "Run with it. Let's
right,
do it as a show," because our scheduling kind of got a little wonky. We're trying to plan the rest of our shows out, and
right.
we wanted to do a quick one that now that the dust has settled on McCartney 3, and as time goes on, how is it going to be compared to Egypt Station? Are you going to be like more like me, or are you
Yeah,
going to be
I
more
think
like Tom?
yeah. Yeah, and it's really cool because I've seen both parties. I've seen a lot of people say they still like Egypt Station better, and I've seen, a bunch of people saying they like McCartney 3 better. So, I don't think anybody's right or anybody's wrong with it. I mean, obviously, it just depends on your taste. But I think if you take, the songs people that you love best from McCartney 3 and best from Egypt Station, I think it would make for a really good album.
Heck of a great album.
Yeah,
A great album and a good and a killer. And again, you can make a playlist and
right.
go for a walk, go
Yeah.
for a drive, and you can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's coming.
Yeah. Coming.
That's coming, baby.
Yeah, we are be ranking Driving Rain real soon.
This is my right. Where's that going to get ranked?
Oh man, don't give it away.
No, 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 no. But this was fun, partner.
Yeah, no, great. It was a good idea. It was just fun. I like fun shows like this where you can just pick your songs and put it on one album. It works for me.
Yeah, yeah. So let us know, people out there in TV land.
Right.
How would you sequence Egypt Station and McCartney 3?
Yeah.
And which do you
What
prefer
tracks would you
over?
use?
And which
Yeah.
albums do you prefer overall? 4 months out now from release
Yeah.
of
See,
McCartney
and that's the
3.
thing is, I'm kind of glad that McCartney 3 didn't follow the same pattern as Egypt Station. Obviously because, he didn't really have like sessions, I guess, from like McCartney 3, like he did for Egypt Station in a way where, you got like 20, 25 songs that he records.
Oh, I
I
got you.
mean,
I got you.
so like on New Year's Eve,
And we're getting like
we gotta get enough, and then a
not to
couple
mention
weeks.
a month before that we had In a Hurry at
Right,
Home Tonight. I mean,
right. You
the
know,
extra bonus material from that, the end of 18 into 19, it was like ridiculous.
right.
More
It
stuff
was the
coming out.
gift that kept on giving.
It's like, oh,
Egypt
here's two
Station.
more songs,
Right,
another song.
right.
For
But for McCartney 3, it was the vinyl that kept coming. you
well, that was another gift that kept on giving and
Right,
giving and
and
giving
giving.
and giving and giving and
Right,
giving and
right.
still giving.
Yes. And here we are buying and buying and buying.
And now you have
Yeah,
the reimagined one, which my
right.
co-host is. He snapped that up.
I put my foot down, and I still to this day have only ordered the splatter.
Okay,
Yep. Not gonna do it. Not gonna fall for that trap
not gonna
again.
do it. Not
Exactly.
gonna do
Not gonna do it.
it.
Um. But
Oh
anyways,
boy,
but
yeah.
yeah, thank you, Andy, for a good for good suggestion tonight. Good fun little show. So what else is going on in your world, Andy?
Not much. We're just we are rapidly approaching the end of our ranking the track series, and a lot of people have asked us, what are we going to do after that?
Right,
We are going to probably take a pause
right,
after we finish the main canon, but we will come back and we are going to do rankings of some sorts. We are going to rank the albums too.
Yes, and that will probably end up being like a three-parter. Do so many for part one, so many for part two, and then
Yep, we're
you
gonna
know,
rank. We're gonna rank the albums, obviously, and I think we're gonna probably talk about compilations at some point too. But the live thing, we're going to continue it, as far as we can, and we're planning on it. So we're not going to stop, and that's helping us grow the channel and
right?
growing our brand. So thank you out there for everybody who's helping us. And it started. It's our show kind of took off in 2020 because of the pandemic, and now we're just here with it. Here we are a year later, and we're going to just keep on rocking and rolling as best we can, as long as we have our health and everything
Absolutely.
else. So
Absolutely. Yep. So thank
that's
you
all.
for
That's all
yeah,
for me.
thank you Andy for all the technical stuff that you do as well. Excuse me. Put together the website. Don't forget to check out our website, twolegspodcast.com. That's where you'll find a lot of our shows that can direct you to our YouTube channel. We can also you'll see all of our Twitter feeds as well there. Any other news usually will go there as well. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Two Legs Podcast. You can email us at twolegspodcast@gmail.com. We get a lot of great feedback. Please leave a comment on the YouTube shows. If you're watching the Ranking the Tracks, please leave your rankings on there. We love to see these rankings. Andy, you were talking about that earlier tonight when we were doing the Ranking the Tracks, where we get to see all of these people's all their rankings and how different they are from the next person, and I
Yeah,
think that's one of the cool things. You tell somebody to make a McCartney compilation. I don't think you'll see two the I don't think you'll see two people make the same list ever.
very,
uh,
very rare. Yeah.
yeah. So that's a lot of fun. So everybody out there, thank you very much for checking us out. If you're new, thank you for showing thank you for showing up. We've had a lot of great guests in the past, and we're going to continue to have great guests in the future. And we look forward to your comments. And so please continue to join us. And Andy, good to see you as always. And
You too,
everybody out there,
brother. Yep.
yeah, everybody out there, have a great day and a beautiful night. Take care.
You've been listening to Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast, hosted by Tom Hunyadi and Andy Nichols, with musical contributions by Dylan